Focus. Alright. So it is currently 12:07 at night. Yeah. So it is currently 12:20, and I've been trying to, for the past 15 minutes, been trying to figure out how to start and how to make this video. So you already know what this is by clicking on the title. I'll be talking to you about my testimony. I was gonna wait till tomorrow because I would have had more time, but I was like, Holy Spirit told me just do it tonight. So I was like, okay. I threw on some eyebrows and I was like, let me at least look put together and do it right. So where do I start? I guess I'll start from the beginning. So I always grew up in church. Since my mom was pregnant with me, I grew up in church. Grew up in the same church. Granted, when my mom got married later down the line, we visited like other churches and whatnot, but I always grew up in the same church consistently. And then, you know, going to church, being raised in church, everybody knowing me, my godfather being a pastor, blase. But I never really had a relationship with God for myself. I would talk to God out of fear of going to hell. Every time they're like, if somebody wants to give their life to Christ, every time they'll do altar call, I'll be up there, because I was just like, okay, I probably lied to my mom about something. Let me go up there because I thought I was going to hell, right? So that was just my thought process growing up. Any little bad thing I did during that week, when I went to church on Sunday, I'm gonna go to the altar and I'm gonna be saved all over again, right? So that was my thought process for a while. So I feel like that was more religion over relationship. But yeah, so I never really had a relationship with God. My relationship with him was through the faith of my grandma and my mom. It was through the faith they had in him. I never really had, you know, I never knew him for myself. Let me just say that. So yeah, that's how I went throughout life. And then, you know, I'm from Miami, so being in Miami, or I guess you being from anywhere, you're exposed to certain things growing up that I am just starting to become comfortable with talking about. I never really, like, certain things just started like coming back to my mind as, you know, I'm getting into ministry and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's probably why I did this, and oh, that's probably why I did that. So like being exposed to certain things growing up and not really and not talking about it at all, just like bottling it up and holding on to it for all these years, made me very angry. So like, I remember I was a good kid, honestly. I didn't really give my mom trouble. I mean, I gave her attitude here and there, but I never really gave my mom trouble up until like 8th grade when I went to a new school, right? I started giving her trouble. Then in high school, wasn't really much, but for me, it was a lot. So yeah, 8th grade, got in trouble at school. But one thing about it though, when I look back on it, I was talking to my manager about this Sunday. Looking back over, I'm 23, but looking back over my life, like I can see where I've always had favor. It's like I've always had favor in almost every I'm not even almost in every situation I've been in. I've always had favor. Like even in that situation in 8th grade, I could have got expelled from school, and I've always had favor. So okay, so that was that. And then high school came and I started giving my mom trouble again, and I started like just not caring. I was very angry high school, not knowing why I was the way I was. I was just very angry. I started doing whatever I wanted to do, sneaking around, giving my body away to like people who did not deserve it. I don't really talk about this situation much, but like my senior year, I was dating somebody and they could have killed me in high school. With that particular person, I thought I was gonna marry that boy. Okay, I thought I was gonna marry that boy. So I remember, now when you hear the story, you're gonna look at me like, really? Don't judge me. So it was senior year, but it was like the second quarter of senior year. It was around homecoming. So homecoming was like around October-ish. It was around homecoming because it was like around the homecoming game. I remember specifically because I had just got my hair done because I wanted to go to the homecoming game, but I got highlights in my hair and it took too long, so I couldn't go to the homecoming game. So yeah. So it was the day after homecoming game, and this particular person, I was at work and he was like, hey babe, I want to see you. I was like, okay. So he came and picked me up, and you know, we're doing whatever we did, and then he got upset for whatever his reasons were. He was high off, I think, more than just weed at that point, because he was completely irrational. I remember him taking me back to work. He was driving slow and he was looking at me, and I felt like he was gonna hit me, right? But I saw like his gun. Mind you, we're 17. I think he was 18, I'm 17. I saw the gun, but I'm like, he ain't that stupid. Right. So he was like, he started asking me questions like, Kelly, you cheating on me? And I'm like, no, but I know you cheating on me. I got a slick mouth. God, that's something else God gotta work on me about. I have a really slick mouth. I've always had a slick mouth. I'm working on it though. I'm working on it. But I said, no, I'm not cheating on you, but I know you cheating on me. And that sent him over the rails to the point where he put the gun to my head, and I was like, oh Jesus, just get me out of this situation, Lord. Just get me out of this. Everybody has had that moment a time or 2 or 10 where like, Lord, if you get me out of this, I promise that I'll do better. I've had more than one of those situations. And yeah, and then he was like, you know, I'll kill you right now. I said, no you won't. Now I don't know why I was talking all hot don't ask me. I don't know why I was talking big and bad and grand. I just knew he wasn't going to do it. And I'm glad he didn't do it to me, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah. So that was that situation. I can't believe I just told that on camera. Oh my gosh. Jesus. Anyways, so yeah, that was that situation. So many stories. I have so many stories of how, like, when I say God, like, literally, even though I was not in his perfect will for my life, or like walking in purpose, I just see where he saved me, like, just kept me. It's crazy. Just say that to say, like, where I was mentally, even without God. Like, I would go to church every other Sunday in high school, but it was like, okay, I'm going to church, no big deal. Say a quick prayer, go about my day. That was my attitude. But yeah, like, I could have died at the age of 17, and I just started getting comfortable talking about that. Not even really comfortable, but I just started talking about it more, like, recently. And then graduated high school 2016, and it's like immediately after high school I fell into this depressive state where I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay home. I wanted to stay in my room. I didn't want to do anything. So, I mean, the sneaking around was still happening. I was still doing whatever I wanted to do, still giving my mom attitude, still with the I don't care type of attitude. And that lasted for quite a while, actually. I just, like, last year, that from 2016 up until 2021, pretty much on and off. I remember going through college, just not caring. Like, I'm gonna go back and finish, but like when I was taking classes, I wouldn't care. I was like, I'll go to class whenever I felt like going to class. I just had like a I don't care attitude about life in general. And then I'm trying to remember specifically, yeah, about life in general, because I just didn't care. Like, of course, like, I had suicidal thoughts, but you know, I never, thank God I didn't have the courage to do that. But yeah, I had suicidal thoughts always. When I say always, again, still sleeping around. And then 2020 came. Actually, no, let me not even start there. I remember working for this particular person, and they believe in like the new age way of thinking, or new age, whatever you want to call it. And because working in that atmosphere, I've always been, even growing up, I've always been easily influenced, which is whatever. But growing up, I was always easily influenced. So working in that environment, I started picking up certain things, and because I wasn't in my word, I didn't know, like, it wasn't right. I was just like, okay, it is what it is. Like, they would talk about chakras. I was not big into that, because I was like, I knew something about that wasn't right. I knew that. I always knew tarot card reading was not right. I always knew that, like, psychics, no. So I never dabbled in that, but I was curious. I'm not gonna lie, I was curious. So yeah, working there. And I remember because it was like a women-based thing, I went to some type of seminar, and they're like, oh, let's just clear our energy with sage and with stuff like that. And I did it, and I was like, what the heck am I doing? I've never heard in the Bible where they talk about sage, like clearing your energy with sage. I have never heard about that, but of course I still went along with it. And then later, a couple months later, me and my mom were talking about something, and she was like, Kelly, you know that's witchcraft, right? Or you know that's not right, that's not godly. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in crystals. We don't believe in And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. But of course I wouldn't know, because I'm not reading my Bible like I'm supposed to. Of course I wouldn't know that. So I cut that out. Still went about my life. I started drinking early. I started drinking before I was 21. Just throw that out there. But 2020 came. Of course, we all know what happened in 2020, COVID. But then I had actually got laid off from my job, so I decided to go to esthetician school. So when I got to esthetician school, somebody was like graduating every week. So eventually we were like, oh, let's start doing parties like every Friday. So started doing private parties every Friday, and I was drinking every week. At that point I was drinking every week, to the point where, fast forward to 2021, I got a job, I got a car, got my first car, and I was drinking almost every day. And at this point, 2021, I was 22, because I got my car in January. So yeah, 22. And it was like to the point where I did not want to go into work without a drink or without something. Like I was willing to try whatever just to keep me calm. So I was on edibles, I was just drinking, I was on edibles and drinking at the same time, just doing whatever. And I just remember like being like, I don't want to live like this. Like, I know I'm not supposed to live like this. I don't want to live like this. And it started to become scary to me, because at that point I had to like sneak around just to get a drink, and it's like I could not function without a drink. And I was like, I can't continue to live like this, right? And growing up, I've always been a dreamer. So I will always have dreams. I will always have vivid dreams, and sometimes my dreams will actually come true. And at that point, I hadn't been dreaming for a very long time. And then I remember like the last dream I had before I got heavy into drinking, God had showed me my life pretty much, and I got scared. I was like, that's not me. And it was basically my life. Like if I went on the right path, that was my life. And I'm like, I don't see myself doing that. So of course, do my own thing, and I don't know what it was. It was just one day I just woke up and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And around November-ish, God had, at that point, I still doing what I wanted to do, but I started to slow down. Like I wouldn't drink every day, but like if I was going out, I would have like a drink type situation. I had stopped smoking, stopped doing edibles altogether at that point. The person I was dealing with, I had stopped dealing with them, because even that, like around that time last year, that had really drove me over the edge. Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know what it was. It was just one day I woke up and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't go about my life like this anymore. And like around November, let me see, I believe it was November ish. I think it was like right before Thanksgiving too. Let me see. Yeah. It was before Thanksgiving though. God had gave me I don't even know what to call it. It was like, I call it my online based community. And I was like, God, are you sure? I was like, God, are you sure that's what you want me to do? Like, cause honestly, I don't want to say I'm new to faith, but I feel like I have to unlearn a whole bunch to relearn what's right. And I was like, God, are you sure that's what you called me to do? And when I say everything, or everyone had, like around me at that time, had said something to confirm it, and I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna stop questioning you. I'm gonna just be obedient to whatever you want me to do moving forward. And since that day, I think it was like the week before Thanksgiving. Since that day, I've been obedient, honestly. Granted, I still have my slip-ups here and there, but I don't stay. Like, I have my slip-up and I repent and I keep it pushing. And when I say I've been so like blessed so far, I see where it's taking me. I'm scared. I am scared, but I gave him yes. I gave God a yes, and I told him I'm willing and I am obedient. So yeah, but yeah, like honestly, looking back, I see how all those situations that I was put in, that I put myself in, that God allowed to happen, it was all so that I can walk in purpose. Like, I can use everything that I've been through to help somebody. I can use what I've been through, like I'm doing now, to share to people and let people know, like, you don't have to go through certain things. You don't have to live a certain way. Like, God will protect you. God will provide for you. God, just literally put your trust in God. Like, I'm still learning that even as I'm talking to y'all. Like, I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm learning every day how to trust him. Even though, I'm not perfect. Just because I'm walking with God doesn't mean I'm perfect. But I'm still willing and I'm still obedient, and I still try each and every day. Like, I don't read like I know I'm supposed to. I don't pray like I know I'm supposed to. And I'm working on it. God is working on it with me. He's working on me. But I know, like, everything up until this point that I've been through, it was a reason for it. Like, I know God is going to use it for his glory, not to glorify myself, for his glory, literally. Because it like it says it, because I actually have my Bible here for the scripture that goes with it. It's Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord, plans for peace and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. And then, you know, all that tells me is everything that I've been through, every situation that I've been through, every situation that I've put myself in knowingly, is for him. It's for his purpose. Like, God knew eventually I'll get my act together. God knew I'll get my act together eventually. God knew, he knew me. Like, he knew me before literally, in the word says he knew me before I was created. Like, that means he knows how my life is gonna pan out. So just because you might do something today doesn't mean that you won't walk in his perfect will tomorrow. That's just how I look at it. And I always have to remind myself, because I am a perfectionist. That's another thing the Lord is still working on me about. But I have to remind myself, Kelly, you're not perfect. The only person that's perfect is God. You're not perfect, but as long as you're willing, he will show you the way. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, like, don't be so hard on yourself. You'll be okay. So yeah, like, I still have some things that I need to work on, but I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I used to be. I'm in such a good space right now, and I know it's not because of me. I know it's all because of God. Like, I'm in such a good space. Yeah, I have days where I just don't want to be bothered. Everybody has those days, but like, mentally, I'm in such a good space. Like, and I really thought I could never say that. Like, the enemy, he really tries to put it on you and be like, oh, you'll never get out of this. Oh, you'll never get out of that. You're gonna die if you know, the way you keep going, you're gonna die. Oh, like, that's what the enemy was feeding me, like, all those years. Like, I remember even in situations like, well, when my mom was still married, in certain situations that I'll see her go through, I was afraid to leave the house. Like, first of all, she didn't want me to go away for college, but I really ain't argued with her about that so much, because the enemy was like, if you leave to go away to school, she's gonna die in this house and you're not gonna see your mom again, pretty much. So I dealt with that. I dealt with like a lot. I could go on for days just about how the enemy can play tricks with your head, and he still tries. And I just have to remind myself, you are a child of God, Kayla. Like, he can't stop nothing. The enemy is already defeated. It is what it is. Keep it pushing. Yeah, I can't go back. So yeah, that is my life of religion to relationship, or finding God for myself. That is my life on purpose-driven, being purpose-driven instead of self-driven, because that's another thing. I go on for days about that too. That's another thing, being self-driven versus purpose-driven. Yeah, I think I'm gonna title this video that too. But that is my life on now, walking in purpose. It feels good to finally get it out too. But yeah, now I can go to sleep. It is currently 12:50. I can go to sleep now. I got to work soon. And you know what, actually, for anybody who's watching this video, just comment in down below, like, what do you see God doing in your life? What areas have you seen God like shift things? That's one thing about God, he know how to shift things, boy. I will say that, because I would never in a million years believe like what I'm doing now is like, if you would have told me that a couple years ago, I would have laughed in your face, like what I'm doing now and helping in ministry and stuff like that. I probably would have laughed in your face. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my life. So yeah, that's my life. Excuse me. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on your post notifications for any new videos I might be posting soon. And yeah, make sure you share to your friends and your family and your mama and your grandma and your daddy and your grandpa. And thanks again for watching.